What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bricks and Toys, or shall I say, Bricks and Toys does RC. Hooray! Today, guys, we're back with the 1990s Radio Shack Street Sprinter car. This is the car I talked about most in my introduction video. This is the one where I want to keep the body with the car, but unfortunately, I can no longer go with the chassis. The chassis is just, it's done for. So I want to take this body, and hopefully I can make it work with what's in this box. Now, before I talk about what's in this box, I need to get you guys up to speed with everything in that video. I have been killing it with the Omni Terminator. I have been loving it for 4 days before I broke it, and I've had to wait a week for overnight parts from Japan. Yes, that was a Fast and the Furious movie reference. It was actually parts from China. With the Omni Terminator, and I'll explain this in the video coming up, I found a really weird way to order the parts that was cheaper, but you had to wait a little bit longer. And I think it's actually for the better. So that's the update on the Omni Terminator. It's doing really well. I was going out with my kids. I was letting my youngest daughter take the AA powered RC cars out, letting her get kind of used to driving a car. It's kind of hard to get a 4.5-year-old to understand this finger gas or steering, this finger gas or steering, and you got to work them together. So at the same time as it's hard to get her to understand how to do that, it's really cool to try to teach her and teach those motor skills for her so she can learn at a younger age to do two things at once. And along with that, I've been having my older daughter take the F1 Red Bull Racing car out. That one got fixed about the same time I wrapped up the videos. Not a really big video fixing that one up, so I didn't make one, but it just needed a little circuit board like I explained, swap that out. For a good couple days, my daughter was driving the F1, my youngest was driving the little orange Lamborghini. We were going around the apartment complex, and then I broke the Terminator. And I've been RC carless for a week. The good news is, with the Terminator, right down here on the floor, just randomly showed up at my front door, is parts. I cannot wait to make this video right after I make this video and get that thing running again. That's going to be exciting. So be on the lookout for the next RC car video, which is going to come, I think, after this. Yeah. And also ignore what this is right here. This is, like I said, I'm plugging RC car content in between Lego content. And that's what that is. Just, yeah, this doesn't exist. So let's get into what's in this box. Now, I didn't specify in my last video, but this is the Street Sprinter. Not that it really matters, but this was the one without the side pipes, blue paint, and a yellow hood. The one that I have to give me the chassis in this box should be a Street Sprinter 2, which was all blue with side pipes. Not that it matters. I don't know if there's any specification difference between the two. If you guys know these cars and you guys were like around back then to actually pay attention, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it. But to my knowledge, they're the same thing. If not, Street Sprinter 2, Street Sprinter 1, 2 is better than 1. Sequel, always means upgrade. You guys know. So let's go ahead and let's cut open this box and let's see. Now this I bought off eBay for $30 plus $15 shipping. So $45 to my door. Not too bad. It's just a gamble. There was no controller with this car. So I am hoping that this controller will work. I feel like it's doing okay. I haven't actually got out and street tested it yet. Hopefully in this video we can do that. With this 2-part epoxy, it is a little hit and miss if you just get the mixture off and it gets a little rubbery. This one feels like it's actually cured pretty well, but I also had to cut a lot of it out to make sure I can use this controller because at first I put too much on. It built up and it really jammed up the controller, and I had to cut it out while it was still soft and hope that while I wait for this to show up, it just hardens. And I feel like it's done that. So let's continue getting into this. There we go. This will be one more box out of my living room, so I cannot wait to get into this. So let me tilt it forward for you guys so you guys can watch. Paper, paper, paper. Well, there's something wrapped in plastic. It's not a... It feels lightweight. It doesn't feel like a boulder. You know, they could always put a rock in here, and I just paid $45 for a rock. That is possible. There it is. We'll just set that up there. Well, I see the wheels. That's a good sign. Let's see if there's anything in here. Any cocaine, ecstasy, you know, drug smuggling. Maybe I'm going to have some street gang show up and go, "You received a shipment in. We need that back." No, I'm just kidding. That only works on TV shows. Or should I say only happens. So I got my cocoon, and the cocoon resembles that car. Let's slice open the cocoon. Not too deep because we don't want to ruin it. But I also want to get a heck in here. I want to see. Do I get a second chance to have my childhood RC car as an adult? And this time not break it? I hope. Because there was 2 of these, and by the time I went back a week later, there was this one only. So after this, the only option is to pay $300 to a Canadian in Canada for one brand new in box. But why would you ever do that if you just keep breaking them? Well, this one looks a little bit better, actually. Well, from this angle. Let me in your cocoon! Ah! Isn't just unwrapping things from the internet just a blast? It's like you're doing all this work for something at the end. What's that mean? It's like a reward. This needs a new blade. Now remember, I'm not weak. I'm just trying not to break the car before I even get it on the ground. Okay, I see some road rash. But, you know, that's fine. I'm going to give it some more. Oh, I just cut on it. Whoopsies. I can just edit that out, right? Probably won't. Okay, so now I have the cocoon pretty much completely peeled off. And I'm noticing a few things. Like, I have rear suspension. I don't have rear suspension. That's already a win. Also, the bottom of this one is a lot less tore up. Okay, so we're out now, guys. Just got to get the antenna free. And we're good. Look at that. Done! Okay, so pictures make everything look better. And I was a little worried about that because it looked just a little bit too good. And you know what? This body is amazing for being almost, 25, 30 years old. The stickers are a little yellow. I don't see any major rash. I see some dust. But this is actually really good. And as you can see here, Street Sprinter 2. So what I'm saying is the truth. Inside, it doesn't look all that dusty. And on the bottom, it looks really nice. I mean, let you guys get a good looky-loo there. And then you guys can compare that with my old buddy here. Yeah, not bad. Well, before we continue on this one is making this one feel a little insecure about its cosmetics. So let me get something to try to make it feel better. So here I have a recently discovered Clorox wipe. I have never used Clorox wipe. I believe in buying glass cleaner and using paper towel. But I've discovered these through a weird series of events, and they actually do a really good job at cleaning messes without a lot of work. So we're just going to run this really quick over this perfectly good paint job. Yes, that's sarcasm. So it's just scrub. Now, quite amazingly, this is actually making a difference. There was something spilt on this, and it's now spilt no more. Is it actually worth doing? Probably not. But, you know, I don't want the old guy getting a little discouraged. It is getting stickier. Maybe Clorox is not compatible with the paint my brother used 20 years ago. Uh-oh. You know, we're just not going to worry about that. How about that? Yeah, you know, minus some scratches, looks pretty good. Maybe I'll get some quick detailer on there when we go outside and give it a quick detail. Why am I even trying? I don't know. I'm weird. So that's what we're going to save, because I don't want to ruin this body. This body looks amazing compared to this one. So if I ever do decide just to store these, just to have them, I'll put this body back on so it looks good on a shelf. But to go outside and beat and bang, the red one is for sure. So the body's all that we wanted off of that one. So we can put this one down here on the floor. And then I could kind of use my wet wipe to clean up my desk here. God, why these things get so dirty? Now, before I go pulling screws and everything, I do want to give a really good look at the plastics and everything. Like I said, this thing is 100 times cleaner than the one I already have, but I don't know if it's going to work with the controller. It should. I don't know if it is going to work. I am looking, and I'm noticing one thing right now. Check this out. What in the hell? So this is not going to be good, people. This is already going to go bad. And if it doesn't, I'll be really surprised. You see what I'm doing? I'm taking the body off. There is no screws holding this body. Oh, no. Well, that's not good. It is very strange, though, when I look at this. It is really oddly clean for how old it is. Maybe they took it apart just to clean it for the eBay listing and they left the screws out of it like dipshits. Let's hope. Now let's look and let's see. Now the screw holes in this look good. The spring looks good on that. This is a different spring design than the one that mine had. Here, let's take this open really quick and let's take a look inside. Let's see if there's any water damage before I even try to put a battery to it. So like I said before, 2 screws removes that cover. Been here, done this before. No, it looks dry. I don't see any puddles. Well, that's good. Doesn't look like it's gotten hot. The wires look fine. Okay, let's put that back together. I was really hoping for the screws on this car because the screws that were on this one, they're kind of like different sizes. But now that I look, I have 2 long and 2 short, but they are different tones of color. So I would have liked to have all uniform screws that were authentic to the vehicle, not some crap that a couple kids put together, but beggars can't be choosers. Now, while I have it apart, I kind of want to bend this antenna and kind of get it back to straight, just like that. Make that look really good. I have my battery. I did get it charged while I was waiting, so we are ready to go. And we're now plugged in. Let's put it upside down to test because I don't want it flying off the counter. It's now powered on. Don't hear anything. Fingers crossed. And that's nothing. Is there an issue with my battery? It should have worked right across the board. No, the battery should be fine. So when these things happen, this is why you don't get rid of parts. You save parts. Plug in the other one. Okay. Controller's working. Unfortunately, this car is not. So that is not good. I was worried about this being an issue. I unfortunately cannot tell you what this is. As far as the megahertz on this one, it says 49 megahertz. On this controller, it says 9-volt battery, 9.6 battery pack. It doesn't say what it powers. Ugh, crap. Now, this could be an issue for multiple reasons. One of the reasons is there's actually an issue within the vehicle itself. That would suck. But that is a very, very huge possibility that there's an issue with the car. As I said when I was looking at it, the screws are missing. Not a good look. Let's pause for a multimeter check. So as some of you may already know, I was once a electronics repair tech. I'm actually trying to get my job back. Well, not a job. No, I'm trying to get a job, not my old. Long story short, I'm just trying to go back to work. So let's check our voltage. This is a 9.6, so I should be around there. 10.7, so that's good. Now to the motor, I got some motor prongs. Now if I come over here and I give the motor some signal, can I do this with, trying to do this with one hand. Giving the motor some signal, nothing. So with all this, let's get a little wild. Let's put you guys on a time lapse. Let's swap out the parts. Hopefully I can without breaking anything, and we will try to get this thing up and running on this video. One hour and 25 minutes later, hour and a half, we have a car again. Now, I didn't want it to go this way. I really wanted to have all new parts from, well, this seller. And clearly, we were not allowed that. But this does work out better overall because now not only do we have the original body, we now have the heart and soul of the car as well. Everything was soldered in, and I didn't want to break out the soldering gun and start breaking wires. So I carefully removed the motor, the board, and the steering motor, all from the car, and put it in this one. Now, when I did do that, I decided to break the other car down for parts. Here's the old rear axle. The housing, not in good shape. There is still a heat sink on here. Save that. There's some very important gears in here. Save that. There is the rear crash bar. Not in good shape. Save it. Of course, wheels and tires from the back. Save that. We also have, that one's broke, but over here, we also have a good steering knuckle and wheel. Not quite sure how this all comes apart. It's probably all press fit. Gonna save that. We're going to need to save brackets for mounting the body, the front bumper guard. I'm not going to save the antenna. That can go into the trash. I'm also going to save this little steering cover just in case. So we have a good thing of save. Now on these parts, I have the broken steering knuckle. You guys can see if the camera allows. That's not in the best of shape. I think I could pop this yellow piece off. See if I can. Get it in here. Yeah, okay. That's the only thing I want to save is this little spring retainer. Other than that, I don't think I can save this control arm. Let's see if I can. Everything on this is press fit into plastic or into metal. I've not tried to break anything out of the metal yet. Actually, that came right out. Okay. So, it's really a curious thing. So now that pin is out, that's out. I was able just to press all of that out. I don't think I'm going to get away with pressing that out. No, that's not going to come out. What about the other parts? Let's see. Yeah, that would come out too. We're exploring here, people. So that slides out. And when this slides out, does this give us an idea if we can save the wheel as a spare? Because I don't want to get rid of nothing I don't have to. This may be a little bit of hoarding, but when the parts are as old as these parts, you want to save everything you can. You don't want to get rid of anything. There we go. So I got another pin that I'm able to save, just in case I bend one. Save that. Now that takes off the knuckle that I broke. I can't get this pin out, so this thing automatically goes into the trash. Now the only thing I have left is the wheel itself. Can I get that loose? No. So unfortunately, it's all like, it's probably heated up, melted in there. That's not going to go. But you know what's going to go? The tire. I could save the tire. Again, 30-year-old parts. Save what you can. So I got a tire. And the things have broken besides that. I have this cover. Like I said, I glued it on. Broke it. The rear spring, glued it shut. That's why it snapped off. Broken. Here's the steering arm that I don't think I'm the one that broke. I think it was already bent. And then I just didn't help the situation. Trash. And then this was already broken when I got the car back from my brother. Lower control arm, broken. And then this, the spring tower was glued shut, and it's just really in bad shape. So the main chassis, thrown away. So this is all that lives, is a bunch of plastic part. Not fun. We are going to save on this. We're going to save the steering motor. I'm going to whack it off right there, and I'm going to save the actual motor. And other than that, the logic board goes into the trash. So that's the parts. Now, this is what you guys all have been waiting for. I did slice my finger open to take apart the battery. I had to de-pin the battery connection. That way I could get it through the body without having to cut the wires. Well, let's see if we have smoke or if we have a car. Make sure that everything's correct, because I did, like I said, de-pin the wires. And, okay, so that's an issue. The connection is coming undone. So I got to get my little pick tool, and I need to give some more grabby to these pins. They kind of flare out like that, and they grab into the plastic. When I took them apart, I obviously took that away from them by putting my pry tool in and flattening the grabbies out. So now I want to flare those back. Now every time I take this connection off to repin it, I just like to verify red on left, black on right. Oh, I heard that click. That was a good click. Nice and satisfying. So now let's see if it will go now. It may take a few tries because you did kind of mess with the pin. So it may take a few fitment tries. Okay, let's see. Backwards, forwards, right, and left. We have a working car, everybody. So let's get the body put on and let's go out for a test drive. My camera needs to charge, so that means as I finish putting this all together, I'm going to charge you guys up so you guys can come along. It is now dark outside. I started this when it was light outside. My luck ran out. One really cool thing with this car that I'm going to do is there's usually a cover down here. Well, the cover is gone. Now that I have confirmed the car working, I actually used this really thick patch of Velcro, and I'm going to now officially stick this battery with Velcro in the car. So now it'll be held in with very strong Velcro instead of that plastic cover that I can't find anywhere on the internet. And if I did find somebody on the internet with it, they would probably charge me a few arms and a leg for that. So let's get this thing stuck. I'm just trying to think of what the best orientation is going to be. So maybe that way. That way. Okay, it's going to go like that. Okay, so now the battery's in. It's stuck. I don't know how I'm going to get it out. Maybe a pry tool. Doesn't matter. Not my concern right now. I do see that there is a hook right here. maybe I can hook this. Maybe I'll just try to tuck it up in the body. Or maybe I'll get some more Velcro and just put a connection right here to stick it up. Because you don't want this flopping around as you're hauling butt. So let's get you guys charged and let's take this thing out for a spin. Okay, so we're going to have to do this under the carport, but let's see if she rolls. Oh, there she goes. 1990s, everybody. Not as fast as my Terminator. I get dyslexic with these old controllers. I've never really had her up working. Well, you just look at this thing. Back from the dead. Woo! Oh, nope. Do not break anything, Mr. Brandon. Goes in circles good. There's a little bit of a donuts. Come on, buddy. Nope, needs more. Almost got that pull. I can tell you, it's not as exciting as the Omni Terminator, for sure. But man, is it nostalgia. I'm getting some slides in there, people. Woo! Yeah, the radio frequency is not that good. It gets confused. It's cutting out and dropping. It definitely has its issues. But I am really happy with it. So I'm going to leave you guys off there. Back to the studio. Well, this result could not have gone any better, everybody. We now have a car at 4.8 volts. We have a car at 9.6 volts. And then we have the 11.1 volt Omni Terminator. We literally have slow, fast, and really freaking fast. And I think that is a perfect balance. Now, if I want to just go for a slow walk, well, I can take the F1. If I want to go for a little bit of a quicker walk, I can take this car. And if I just want to go in circles and tear up the grass and terrorize the bushes around the apartment complex, well, then I can take the Omni Terminator. Man, this feels really freaking good to have every suspension component repaired, to have every single thing just in perfect order. This thing drives dead straight, and that is not bad at all for a pretty much a push pin car where all of the parts are just pins that push into the plastic. I mean, this is not sophisticated like today's RC by any means. I wasn't even able to take the motor free from the steering motor from the rear motor. I had to take everything all out at once, and it works. I did hit it with some quick detailer to try to make it a little bit softer and cleaner. I'm literally polishing a turd at that point. I think it did help out a little bit, and I did let my oldest daughter drive it already. I tried to get my wife to drive it, but she, let's just say, people of the house are a little afraid to drive this car for the one glaring issue that it has, and that's the fact of it's not about how much, it's about if you can fix it. That is the only downside of this car. My brother, I showed him what was left of the old car, and I showed him the body, and he said, do not let that body get screwed up. That body is mint. And I agree with him, and that's why it's not on there. But when I was taking this thing outside for the runs, I was literally having the runs in my shorts, worried that what if I go off the wrong way? What if the controller glitches and it hits something and it's broken on the side that I don't have the spare lottery of parts. The parts I have are literally a lottery. And if I break this car, will I have it or will I not? And the fact is, I 50-50 chance. And I don't want to find out the hard way. I will keep my eye out on eBay for other ones of these. Like I said, there was 3 of them. One of them was gone. This one was the next one. And then there was one after this that was brand new in box in Canada for like $300. I think the one in Canada is still for sale. and now we're just down to that one. So yeah, this is fun. This is incredible. My 25-year-old or whatever RC car is back, but it's just too scary to drive because if it gets broken, it's done so. But that's why I have the Omni Terminator, which I can get parts for, and I have. And that will be your next video on what I believe is the 14th. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys want to support the channel, there's a thank you button right down below. When you guys hit thank you, you guys leave a small donation. Any donations help fund the Lego channel, not really the RC stuff. The RC stuff is just separate and just to generate ad revenue for the channel. Equally as important, you guys can just hit that subscribe button and follow along with everything that we do here. It is much appreciated. And as usual, like the video and share the video with your friends. And most importantly, drop your comments down below. Do you think that this was a complete waste of time? Or do you think it is worth putting a little bit of time and a little teeny bit amount of money just to bring back something that you actually owned as a child in your older years, like me in my mid-30s? On that one, thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you for coming along with me on the journey of bringing back my toy. And we'll see you on the next video.